If Napoleon had won the Battle of Waterloo, the immediate consequence would have been the preservation of the French Empire and the delay or prevention of the Bourbon monarchy's restoration. This victory would have temporarily strengthened Napoleon's position in France, potentially increasing his support among the French population and the military. Napoleon, with his proven strategic genius, would have been emboldened by this success. However, the Seventh Coalition, comprising the United Kingdom, Prussia, Austria, Russia, and other allies, would likely have regrouped for further battles, determined to defeat him once and for all. This could have led to a prolonged period of military engagements across Europe. In the short term, Napoleon's victory at Waterloo would have altered the diplomatic landscape of Europe. A successful Napoleon would likely have sought peace treaties or armistices with the major European powers. These treaties could have led to a redrawing of European borders and spheres of influence, with France potentially gaining more territory or consolidating its control over regions it already held. The balance of power in Europe would have been significantly disrupted, causing instability as other nations sought to counterbalance Napoleon's dominance. Napoleon, emboldened by his victory, might have embarked on further military campaigns to consolidate and expand his power in Europe. This could have included efforts to reassert control over territories lost during previous conflicts or to subdue nations that posed a threat to his rule. The continuation of Napoleonic wars would have drained the resources of all involved nations, potentially leading to economic strain and social unrest. The medium-term consequences of a Napoleonic victory would have included significant changes in European politics and society. The political and economic conditions created by a prolonged Napoleonic reign might have impacted the course and spread of the Industrial Revolution, particularly in France and its territories. The emphasis on military production and the allocation of resources to support ongoing conflicts could have delayed industrial development in France. However, the technological and administrative innovations spurred by the demands of war might have accelerated certain aspects of industrialization. Napoleon's administrative reforms, including the implementation of the Napoleonic Code, would have continued to shape the legal and governmental systems of France and its territories. His emphasis on meritocracy, centralized administration, and legal equality could have influenced the development of other European nations, particularly those under French control or influence. The spread of these ideas might have fostered the growth of nationalist and liberal movements across Europe, challenging the traditional monarchical and aristocratic order. A victorious Napoleon would have strengthened the French colonial empire, affecting global trade routes, colonial possessions, and the balance of power in regions like Africa, the Americas, and Asia. The French Empire's expansion could have led to increased competition with other colonial powers, such as Britain and Spain, potentially leading to conflicts over territories and resources. The impact on global trade could have been significant, with France potentially exerting greater control over key trade routes and commodities. In the long term, the effects of a Napoleonic victory would have been even more profound. If Napoleon had managed to secure a long-term peace, France might have emerged as the dominant power in Europe, leading to a different political landscape. The unification of Germany and Italy, which occurred later in the 19th century, might have been delayed or altered by the continued dominance of France. The political and military efforts to counteract French influence could have shaped the development of nationalist movements in these regions, potentially leading to different forms of unification or even prolonged fragmentation. A stronger France could have posed a greater challenge to British naval and colonial ambitions. The British Empire's expansion and consolidation of its global dominance might have been hindered by a powerful and assertive France. This could have led to a different colonial and economic history for the British Empire, with potential changes in the colonization of regions like India, Africa, and the Caribbean. The competition between France and Britain could have influenced the development of global trade networks, the spread of Western influence, and the geopolitical dynamics of the 19th and 20th centuries. The political dynamics set in motion by a Napoleonic victory could have resulted in a very different set of alliances and conflicts in the 19th and early 20th centuries. The causes and nature of the world wars might have been affected by the altered balance of power in Europe. Different alliances might have formed, leading to alternative scenarios for major conflicts. The ideological struggles of the 20th century, including the rise of fascism and communism, might have played out differently in a world shaped by prolonged Napoleonic influence. In summary, a Napoleonic victory at Waterloo would have had significant and far-reaching effects on European and world history. The political, economic, and social trajectory of the 19th century and beyond would have been altered, potentially leading to a different course of events in the development of nations, global power structures, and major historical events.